my dear students. Happy meeting you all. Hopefully you would have celebrated the Dasara very well and enjoyed your holidays. Welcome back to Class 8 Social Science. In today's class, we'll be learning a new branch of social science, that is Sociology, in which we'll be learning Chapter 1, Introduction to Sociology. In today's class, we'll be learning about human beings or social beings, meaning of sociology, definitions of sociology, origin of sociology, scope and nature of sociology. Children, now let's learn some key words which we are going to discuss today. What is sociology? It is a study of the development, structure and functioning of human society. Phenomena, which means a fact or a situation that is observed to exist or happen. Next, intellectual. An intellectual is a person who engages in works by intellect, including critical thinking, reading, research, etc. Renaissance, the revival of European art and literature under the influence of classical models in the 14th and 16th centuries. Anthropology, which is a study of human societies and cultures and their development. And the last one is empirical, which means based on, concerned with or verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. Now let's move on to the chapter. Children, we know very well the life of the human being is a fascinating one. Human beings have always tried to understand the environment, nature, and they have self-created the social world since ages, deeply and accurately. Human beings are different from other animals and are intellectual beings. There are a lot of differences between animals and human beings. And there are apparent differences in body structure or rate of growth, food consumption, creativity, and evolution of brain can be noticed among the human beings. So human beings have always tried to understand, as I have told you, they always were trying to understand the environment and how the nature is, and they were creating the social world from ages. So in the olden, that is in the ancient ages, you can see the hunter. The human beings were like a hunter and they will grow later. And now how the human beings are, they're attempting to know more about the neighboring planets with the help of advanced science and technology. So the human society evolved stage by stage, and now with the advanced science and technology, we are attempting to know more about our neighboring planets. So we are calling the human beings are intellectual beings. Next is about human beings or social beings. Why are we calling human beings as social beings? If you see the relationship between the individual and the society are unique. And there cannot be any society without individual. And there is no individual without society. And there is no possibility of surviving without the society. If one thinks generally whether an individual can live alone on the earth, the obvious answer is no. The obvious answer is no. An individual cannot survive alone in the earth. Hence, we are calling the human being as social being. The social living is necessary for the well-being and the growth of an individual and in turn even for the country. Hence, human society is called as a web of social relationship. Now let's learn about the meaning of sociology. The word sociology originates from two words, that is socius, which has come from Latin origin, and logos is the Greek origin word. The word socius means companion. The word logos means the science or study. Thus, sociology is a study of human society. So, sociology studies about the science of human society, and not only the society, social groups, social actions, interactions or relationships, social institutions, social bonds, social processes, social system, its structure, social life, social phenomena, and so on. So in general, sociology is the science of human society. Now let's move on to the definitions of sociology. Auguste Comte is a father of sociology, and he was the first to develop the concept of sociology. He defined sociology as a positive science. Positivism is a search for invariant laws of the natural and social world. And according to Auguste Comte, sociology is the science of social phenomena subject to the natural and invariable laws, the discovery of which is the object of investigation. Children, in general, a sentence we can define according to Auguste Comte. Sociology is a study of social order and social progress. And Comte identified three basic methods for discovering these invariant laws: observation, experiment, and comparison. So invariable laws means never changing. It's occurred in the nature. So there are three basic methods for discovering these invariant laws according to him: observation, experimentation, and comparison. Understood? And the next definition is defined by Max Weber. Sociology is the study of social behavior. So according to Max Weber, sociology is study of social behavior. And third definition is defined by Emile Durkheim. He defines sociology as the science of social institutions. So according to Emile Durkheim, sociology is the science of social institutions. In general, one can define sociology as a study of human society. So already we have seen the same definition while seeing the meaning, while learning about the meaning of sociology. So in general, one can define sociology as the study of human society. Now let's move on to origin of sociology. The beginning of sociology as an independent and separate field of science was during the middle of 19th century. So not from the beginning, so only in the middle of 19th century, the sociology became an independent and separate field of science. It became a specific science in the later 50 years. Though other social sciences like history, political science, economics, psychology, and others have longer history, they were recognized as social sciences during 18th and 19th centuries. This was due to the industrial and French revolutions. The intellectual stimulation which was provided by Renaissance and other movements of 16th and 18th centuries resulted in the origin of sociology. Also, because of the Renaissance and other movements of 16th and 18th centuries resulted in the origin of sociology. Now let's move on to the scope of sociology. The scope of sociology. What is the use of sociology? The sociology studies the human society. It studies human social life, how the life of the society, that is about the group of a people in the society. Social relationship, how an individual is with the society, how the groups are related to each other, how the relationship exists between them, and social institutions and social process. Social process can be hunger, poverty, employment, all these things comes under social process. So it studies about the social life, social relationship, social institutions and social process. Now let's see the nature of sociology. The sociology has a unique place among all the social sciences. It is different from other social sciences due to its unique nature. Sociology is considered as an independent and separate field of study. The features of sociology can be divided into 5. So the first feature is sociology is a social science and not a physical science. Let's see why is not a physical science. So generally physical science means the topics whichever we are discussing under physical science, the methods, it can be Newton's law, waves, matter, motion, forces, energy, all these things, chemical reactions, chemical bonds, all these things we are discussing under physical science. In general, children, all the sciences are divided into 2 categories. That is natural sciences and social sciences. Natural sciences study physical phenomena, whereas social sciences study about the social phenomena. Social sciences include economics, politics and anthropology, etc. Sociology belongs to the family of social sciences. As a social science, it concentrates its attention on man, his social behavior, activities, and social life. In other words, it studies man as a social being. Now, did you understand? So, sociology is a social science and not a physical science. Now, we have understood. So why we are calling it as a social science? Because its attention on man and concentrates about his social behavior, his activities and social life. So in general we can call it studies man as a social being. So sociology belongs to the group of social sciences and not to the group of physical sciences. It studies social life and activities of human society. It also has a close relationship with other social sciences like history, political science, economics, psychology, and anthropology. Now, did you understand this point, children? Now, let's move on to the second point, that is, sociology is a definitive study but not a directive study. Why it is so? Let's see. It studies human society as it is, and it never engages in how it should be. Means, it never directs the society how it should be. Understood? And it focuses only about the study of the human society, how it is now and how it was. It studies about the human society as it is. What happened? It analyzes about only what happened, and it does not instruct the society how it has to modify, how it has to be. Understood? And it does not engage in value judgments. It remains neutral in value-based aspects. And it is dedicated to find the truth as it is. And its main objective is to conduct research without the influence of personal bias or prejudices. Now, did you understand, children? It's a definitive study. What happened? It just defines what has happened in the human society. What is happening in the human society. But it is not giving any direction for the human society. Now let's move on to the third point. Sociology is a pure science and not an applied science. Now let's see about what is pure science and what is applied science. So pure science means the study of science alone, not including its relation to other subjects. But whereas the example, if you see the pure science studying of the human eye and its vision. If you see applied science, applying scientific knowledge to practical problems. That is using technology for eye problem, what we used to do, designing the glasses or the lenses. That is called as what? Applied science. So here what has been mentioned? Sociology as a pure science and not an applied science. Sociology is interested in objective study that results in the formation of empirical body knowledge only. It is not an applied science which is interested in experiments. Sociology is not intended to do the experiments. It focuses on the reflection, observation without data or previous literature, and it is completely based on the experience. That's what we are calling it as empirical body of knowledge. Empirical body of knowledge. It is purely depends on the experiences. Understood? So sociology is a pure science and not an applied science. And the fourth point is sociology is an intangible science and not a tangible science. Sociology is not interested in some of the tangible aspects of human life. For example, it has no interest in any specific battle or revolution like history. So history focuses on the specific battles or the revolution, when it has taken place and between whom it was taken place. All those things will be studying in history. In sociology, we are not studying about those tangible aspects. It has interest in the form and pattern of human events. For example, it considers these events as patterns and forms of social conflict. So it considers these forms. The forms are like whether the forms of conflicts related to a racial or group or international, and subjects them to a scientific study. Now, did you get the point? So it has the interest in the form and pattern of human events. The human events whichever occurred, what it does, it considers the patterns and forms of social conflicts, whether it is a racial conflict or a group conflict or international conflict, and subjects those events to a scientific study based on whether it is a racial conflict, based on whether it is a group or international. Now let's move on to the fifth point. Sociology is a general science and not a special science. So among all the social sciences, only sociology studies the general interactions involving human beings like religion, politics, and economy. moral and intellectual aspects, and it has wider scope than other social sciences. So here the sociology studies about the general interactions which involves the religion of a society, politics involved in the society, and economy of a country or economy of a particular society or a group, and moral and intellectual aspects of a particular group or the society. And while comparing other social sciences, it has wider scope. So these are the 5 features of sociology. And in today's class, we have learnt about human beings or social beings, meaning of sociology, definition, its origin, scope, and nature of sociology. Children, while seeing the video class, take running notes, read the textbook properly, and next thing you have to do your home assignment and workbook assignment. Home assignments, I have given you 3 question and answer. First one is, what is the meaning of sociology? And second one, write any one definition of sociology. Today we have discussed about 3 definitions given by 3 sociologists. So any one you can write it down. Next, list out the features of sociology, which is nothing but nature of sociology. Under the features, we have discussed 5 features, right? Those 5 features, you can write it down. Need not explain each feature. You can just write down the points. Understood? The next is workbook assignment. While writing the workbook assignment, you have to be very careful. Refer your answer key. In page number 93, you have to write fill in the blanks, question number 1, 2, 3. And in page number 94, answer the following, question number 1, 2, 3. And in page number 94 and 95, answer the following in 4 or 5 sentences, in which you have to write question number 1, 2, and 3. And children, for your information, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, in this chapter, the government has omitted early sociologist or Western sociologist, except that the remaining all we will be discussing in further classes. Thank you, children. Take care.